Xbox announced today that they are doing some significant price hikes on all of their console hardware as well as their peripherals and first-party software. Okay, well this sucks, but before we break into that and why this is bad for the future of console gaming, let's break down the actual news itself. So Ryan, the Series S 512 gigabyte will be going to $379.99. That's up from $299. Series S 1 terabyte, $429. That's up from $349.99. Series X digital, $549.99, up from $449.99. And the Series X with a disk drive will be $599, up from $499.99. And the Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition with the little stars on it will be $729.99. So additionally, all of their controllers are getting price hikes along with their headsets. So even if you don't play games on Xbox consoles, but you like buying their controllers for PC gaming, it's going to be hard to avoid this price hike.
We are totally fucked.
If you're wondering, and if you're asking yourself, am I okay after hearing the news about Xbox increasing the prices on not only their 5-year-old console that nobody was buying, and of course increasing the prices up to $80 for their flagship exclusive titles such as Halo and whatever on Xbox, I was perfectly fine until I reminded myself of this dreaded news about a couple weeks ago and today while I was playing around with my new Kenny model in Blender, and Diane Foxington as well. Kenny brought himself home a friend and I couldn't say no. I mean, look at her. Just look at her. I mean, you're really gonna turn this away at your door if she came dressed in this? She could put me in an armbar like Ronda Rousey any day of the week. I'm telling you that right now. And a rear naked choke as well, because those are hot as well. Any hope that I once had about the gaming industry possibly getting better after GTA 6 getting released, or as of recently after the Switch comes out, it was gone and out the door when I saw GameStop and Xbox was teaming up and trying to be funny by giving players $420.69 if they traded in their Xbox on 420. I am not exaggerating, I'm not being funny. This is actually a real thing, and this was all over Reddit, and this was all over GameStop's website too. It was real. And I'm afraid that if I crash out one more time, if I go to the afterlife when it's my time to go, I'll die again in the afterlife. And possibly be planted right next to King Von and have to deal with his hood rat shenanigans the entire duration of my time in hell. This gaming industry is nothing short of a joke. It is a sad, fucking pathetic excuse of a joke of an industry. From the PlayStation 5 Pro costing $700 fucking dollars, and add insult to injury, doesn't come with a stand, and it doesn't come with a hard drive either. You have to purchase the hard drive, which is $80 separate. PlayStation and Xbox want to come out with $200 Pro controllers. The gaming industry increasing their games across the board standard to $70 fucking dollars, and not 2 or 3 years later, Nintendo wants to increase their games to $80 and inflate the prices even more. Then rumors coming out that Grand Theft Auto 6, one of the most generation defining games and one of possibly the greatest created games of all fucking time, might be $100 standard before the other collector's editions. All while Ubisoft want to come out and say gamers should be comfortable with not owning their games and insist upon us not owning our games. All the while EA refuses to give players a scoreboard at the launch of Battlefield 2042 and insisted upon us liking specialists in a Battlefield game while the fucking game was broken. All the meanwhile Activision got away with actively harassing and berating women in their damn studios, and 2K actively advertising gambling in a sports game made for children, mind you. That one I will never get over. Look at LSK and look at damn Cash Nasty like getting excited like they weren't getting paid to sit there and act excited and sell you on the fact that 2K has gambling. This is why Soluminati will forever be better than LSK and Cash Nasty put together. Flight Reacts and Soluminati was right about 2K. 2K has gone down the deep end far beyond repair. And you would naively think that the government, the IRS, the Better Business Bureau, the FBI would get involved in the slightest hearing of them doing this shit and treating their fan base like garbage every single time they put out a new product, every single time they put out a buggy mess of a game, and actively rob their customers and actively blindly rob their shareholders while making the most anti-consumer practices and decisions known to mankind, but they don't get fucking fucking penalized in the damn slightest, the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte is gonna be damn near $800 after tax.
Just immediate thoughts from you as somebody who's been covering Xbox and IGN for as long as I've known you.
Well, number one, the days of this isn't just Microsoft. This is clearly everybody now in terms of the days of consoles getting cheaper over the course of the generation. They're over, and they're never coming back. The Switch never got a price cut, as we are on the eve of the Switch 2's launch. The PlayStation 5 has only gone up in most territories, and I fully expect the US to follow soon here now that Microsoft has. That is actually why my PS5 is normally right there on top of my entertainment center. It is gone because I've packed it up, and as soon as we finish shooting this, I'm trading it in at GameStop for the PS5 Pro that I promised myself I was going to buy specifically for GTA 6 because I want the best GTA 6 experience I can get on day one.
You know, I don't blame presidents for a lot of things, really. I think it's more of a societal issue and more of a people in the country's issue than a president's issue. But I will say this right now, I don't give a flying fuck if I get controversy over this shit. Donald Trump's bitch ass actively fucked up this gaming industry even fucking more with his tariffs.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Talking about it was Liberation Day. No, nigga, it's actually Donald Trump Day. You made the Trump tax. Because of you and your damn tariffs, Nintendo and Xbox are the only ones that I'm seeing, mind you, are the only ones that's using it as a scapegoat, as a justifiable reason, as a multi-billion-dollar company when we're actively in a pretty much a recession right now to increase their prices even more and charge us even more for hardware that's already been released. And Xbox of all people actively blaming tariffs when they know good and goddamn well they wanted to copy Nintendo because they saw people actively flocking to the new Mario Kart game and then Switch 2 because they were the first ones to come out and actively was brave enough to increase their prices to $80 and charge us $500 for a console that was really supposed to be $300. And y'all want to know something? I had came up with a terrifying realization the other day when I remembered that I have to do this video. And the main reason why I'm thinking that the video gaming industry is gonna crash is really a twofold answer. Part one of this answer is because it's actually leading up to their fate. This is their fate, and it's really been going on for so long, and they have been overdosing on so many $60, $70 video games and pre-orders and microtransaction money that if they increase the prices once again across the board, that the gaming industry is gonna crash. But then again, it's not gonna be any one person's fault or any one company's fault. It's gonna be really more of a collection of the companies and people's faults in the gaming industry, and really, in my opinion, it's gonna be a lot harder to actively pinpoint exactly whose fault it is for why the gaming industry will crash in the first place. In part two of my answer for why the gaming industry will inevitably crash, fail, and burn like a fiery phoenix out the damn sky is because the gaming industry is now pulling the inflation card and they're now pulling the Trump tariff card. These Neanderthals that's running these gaming companies and the gaming industry as a whole is basically have no goddamn brain whatsoever. It's ran by a sea sponge and a starfish at the back of Mrs. Puff's classroom. These simpletons cannot make decisions for themselves. They actively copy their competition, and because their competition is doing it, they want to give the excuse as to why they should be doing it. And then they have the audacity to gaslight you and make you think that you're wrong for calling this stuff out because you let the other ones get away with it. And that's why I have been actively saying for years now that no one should be getting away with it. Either all of it is okay or none of it is okay. And if one person came out saying that they wanted to make their game $80, there was no reason as to why y'all should be wanting to increase the prices of y'all games to $80 only because that you seen Nintendo or whoever else doing it. But then you want to throw an attitude at us and you want to gaslight us into thinking that y'all should be doing it because we didn't give a pass to so and so for why they did it. And if you don't believe me, this whole entire ordeal with the gaming industry copying each other have gotten so bad and has gotten so out of control that years ago they actually had to institute a law across the board all around the world to make sure that video games don't have loot boxes, because somehow, some way, it took 2 or 3, 4, 5 years to actively come to the conclusion that loot boxes is a form of gambling. And still to this very day, you will still have companies like Activision, Ubisoft, and EA still actively trying to fight against this loot box ban across the world, and still try to gaslight us into thinking that loot boxes is surprise mechanics, when in reality it's pure gambling. Activision, Ubisoft, EA, they don't want to admit this, and they will never admit this, because they still want to actively cosplay as King Dice and the Devil in Cuphead and expect to get away with it. And if you guys don't want to believe me when I say the aforementioned, then you must admit and at least come down to a common sense level and agree with me that Xbox is only doing this because PS5 and PlayStation and Sony is winning the race in the console wars, well, before the Switch 2 comes out. We'll see how the Switch 2 performs, really. But PS5 has been actively whooping the Xbox Series console's ass ever since it came out in 2020. When you would go down to a Walmart, you would go down to a Target, you will go down to GameStop, you will go down to Costco, and you will actively see rows and rows and rows and rows of Xbox Series S and X consoles still on the shelves, but the PS5s were sold out everywhere, and Neanderthals on eBay and degenerates on StockX was actively reselling these consoles for upwards of $1,200 or $1,300. And the PS5 was so in demand, and it was so much of a great console compared to the Xbox Series consoles, that they actively had to institute limits in stores and online and implement captchas in order for everybody who actively wanted these consoles in the PlayStation 5 to actively get one. Xbox didn't want to understand it then, and they damn for sure don't want to understand it now. And if they would have understood it, they would have actively came out with better exclusives. But since their company has been on a decline for years now, and the sales have dipped so low that they actively had to put Forza Horizon 5 on the PlayStation 5 for the very first time in Forza and Xbox history. And need I remind you that the whole point of the Xbox Series X and S to begin with was because the Xbox Series S was supposed to be the cheapest alternative to the Xbox Series X if you didn't want a disc drive on it for whatever which reason. But then again, that's going to be the price of the old Xbox Series X prices at $400 after tax, and then the Xbox Series X, which was their quote-unquote top of the line version, but it's not really top of the line because the PS5 Pro exists, but yet they still want to charge PS5 Pro money for a model that came out 5 years ago when it came out in 2020. Oh yeah, and on top of that, they're also increasing the prices across the board of all the controllers and their headsets, and also they are still charging so much money for Xbox Live in order for you to actively go online and play your games. This is how despicable, this is how fucking disgusting, and this is actively how fucking greedy the gaming industry, and especially people like Xbox, Activision, and whatever company that you want to throw in the hat have gotten over the years. They will actively not put out good projects. They will not actively put out any good exclusives that justifies their price tags on their consoles, and much less their controllers and headsets, to be spending money on these games. And yet they will still try to gaslight you and make you think that you're missing out. Because if you told me that Xbox is ran by a red sea crab in a crab trap down under the sea at the bottom of the ocean, I would believe you. Because this sheer level of non-decision making, active greed, and just downright despicable behavior is nothing short of astonishing. Xbox wants to be Sony and PlayStation so bad. They want to be them so doggone bad, bro, and it shows. And as much shit that I gave the PS5 Pro for being $700, being a digital only console, and then in order to make it physical or have a disc version of a PS5 Pro, you actually have to buy a $80 disc drive and attach it to your console and register it. At least, at the very least, the credit that I can give Sony and PlayStation on that fact for why it's $700 is because graphically and performance wise, it is still a step above the regular PlayStation in most departments of any game that you'll play, and it actively upscales games regardless of old and new, and it will make your games run better, and they will actively have more patches that come out in the future for games that have PlayStation 5 Pro support. And you will at least see that if you put the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro together and put it side by side, you will actively see the difference between the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro. But no, you can't fucking tell the difference between an Xbox these days, and the damn numbering system and the naming system doesn't make much sense either. I'm exhausted, bruh. I'm fucking wore the fuck out. I'm sick and tired of being sick and fucking tired. They keep insulting our intelligence. More or less, they keep insulting my intelligence, and I cannot fucking take it anymore. I really cannot fucking take it, bruh. I cannot. They're gonna make me crash out like Luigi with the United Healthcare CEO. They really are, bruh. I will take one for the team. I don't give a damn at this juncture of all almighty junctures. And I know that this still isn't the worst to come. It really is not the worst that is yet to come, because it's gonna happen. The gaming industry crash, just like how it was in the 80s, is gonna happen again, and it will happen at a very unfortunate time. I would say around the time GTA 6 gets announced or is gonna come out with their price tag. And I guarantee you that if GTA 6 comes out with that $100 damn price tag, that every developer, publisher, and their mother is chomping at the bit and hoping Rockstar will do for Grand Theft Auto 6. It will happen then, and of course, it won't be any one person's fault. It will be a collection of faults, and they will try to gaslight us into thinking that we're missing out and thinking that it's not our fault. And then once that happens, then of course the floodgates are going to happen, where the boycotts are going to come in, and I'm going to be on the front lines, and then we're going to have the gaming industry crash of the 80s all over again. And then the narrative is going to be who's going to be in business, who's going to stay in business, and who's going to be leaving the gaming industry and packing shit for good. And if that happens, can we also vote on that and hope that Ubisoft is the first to go, please? Because let's be honest, Ubisoft is the worst out of the whole entire industry here, if we're really going to come down to it. Oh my god, oh my god. I am losing it, bro. I am losing my damn mind. I am losing it, bro. Oh my god. I need my emergency kit. I need my emergency Kenny and Diane kit. Please give it to me. I don't give a damn if I'm supposed to reveal it in a month from now. If the models are finished, Kenny, bring it here. Bring it here now. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. Much better. That is much better. Line, and I feel my blood pressure coming down already. Goddamn, Diane looks hot here. Oh my god, she looks so hot.
You'll never see me acting a fool over some pretty girl.
Hey, Sheen. Oh, oh, oh.